Brad reacts, reacting to communist and socialist TikToks. Warning, cringe. Now it's unlisted because it had 4.8 thousand dislikes. I like how on the bottom of the thumbnail, they added that little red line to make it look like you were already watching this video. What? Oh my gosh, they did. Okay, so Zayla sent this in. People don't like when I talk about politics. I bring this up every time. You know what? I need to stop caring. I need to stop caring. Okay, let's see what this is about.
Hey everybody, I'm Brad Pulumbo, and you're watching...
That's not a real name. Brad Pulumbo? Get over yourself. This guy looks like Rami Malek got punched in the face like 50 times maybe.
Every week on Brad Reacts, we break down the craziest and cringiest political stuff that's going around on social media. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button below, because today we're reacting to Marxist and straight up communist TikToks.
Wait, straight up communist? Whoa. I'm a little freaked out.
Now let's get into it. Zeke, roll the first one.
If you can't live without something, it should be free. Simple as that.
Stupid liberals. Let me explain economics to you. See this graph? See how those two...
Why is he standing off to the side like that? Imagine if every one of my videos where I was watching something, I turned and went like this. Like I was sitting here reacting to Brad Pulumbo and I'm just like...
Lines intersect? That's why people have to starve.
Okay, guys, well, that one, I want to roll my eyes so hard, I don't even know how to respond because, for one, let's just delete the word free from your vocabulary. Free doesn't exist. Free is a myth. Somebody has to pay for everything. And when they say free this, free that, what they mean is taxpayers pay for it. What they mean is you and me pay for it every time we get a paycheck. And
if I'm already paying to go to the hospital, wouldn't I rather pay less in taxes to make that hospital trip free for me and everyone else who's going to the hospital? I mean, I know that's an obvious point. Like, we're paying for it anyways. In saying, like, if it's free, someone's got to pay for it. Yeah, but if someone pays for something and gives it to me, that's still free for me. Just because it's free doesn't mean no one paid for it. Warning, cringe. Freaking warning, guys.
And taxes come out of it. So free, no, there's no such thing as free. Now we're talking about essentials, the things that people need to survive. Shouldn't those all just
also, why does his mic sound like he's got like a blanket wrapped around his face?
Be free and provided by taxpayers? Well, that's nice. But the real question is whether we want those things provided by incompetent government bureaucrats or by free markets. And I, for one, am much more likely to trust...
He's got that low pass filter on. I know, he's got it on hard, too.
Jeff Bezos to get me the things that I need to survive on time than I am to get to the same people...
And you know why? It's because his room noise sucks ass. So he's got all this noise in the background. And so he realizes he can block out a lot of that noise if he cuts the high frequencies. But when he's cutting the high frequencies, he's also cutting the high frequencies on his voice.
More importantly, why is denigrating economics cool? Like, you know... That's not much of an argument when you're just disdaining things like graphs and statistics and facts and logic, but I guess that's what passes for an argument on socialist TikTok these days. Zeke, what do you got for me next?
Why does he talk like a robot? His argument's so bad. He's like, oh, so he's saying that because of this graph, people have to starve. So that means he's like denouncing all statistics. No, he's just saying that the reasoning you're bringing up for it doesn't add up. Man's acting as though the free market is good at providing for people. Yeah, like I'd rather choose the free market where it costs me $3,000 just to get a checkup at the hospital.
I have this piece of paper that cost me 1 penny. If you wanted to buy it, I would sell it to you for 1 penny because that is its market value. Okay. I labored to turn
Why is he shaking?
Paper into...
You can tell that it's not because I know someone said it might be because his like monitor's here, but he changes where he looks. So I'm pretty sure he has already seen them and he's already done the script. And so in the video, he's just trying to make it look like he's watching it. But look at his eyes.
Okay. I labored to turn that piece of paper...
See, he's looking somewhere else now. He's looking at a completely different place. Why is he twitching like that?
Okay. I labored to turn that piece of paper into this crane. Okay. If the market value of this crane is $1, that means my labor created 99 cents of value. My labor is therefore worth 99 cents. Yeah, that makes sense. Would it be fair for someone else who didn't do any work to take 90 cents from me just because I happened to make this crane in their house? No, of course not. That would basically be stealing. So you agree that
I'd love for a video to happen where it's just room noise and him just smiling and like staring at nothing and it's just zoomed in. Genuinely, how is he going to respond to this? What is he going to say? What do we think he's going to say? Is he going to just go, well, yeah, if someone hires you and they're the ones that created the company, then they deserve literally 90% of your labor value?
So this one cracks me up because this is straight up out of the Communist Manifesto, guys, and it's just circulating around on TikTok. But this is what socialists would call the labor theory of value. The idea that a good or product, well, what it's really worth is how much labor went into it. But that just doesn't make any sense from the get-go. That would mean that two shoes that are the exact same shoe, left foot and right foot, well, one would be worth more if it was made in a way that took more time.
But if you were making two pairs of shoes, it would take the same amount of time to make the left shoe and the right shoe because it's the same shoe. Like, what? And yeah, you buy two shoes together. So you don't buy the left shoe and the right shoe. You pay for the total price.
From a laborer, or made by a laborer that worked more slowly. It doesn't make any sense. It's also just hilarious because they're pretending as if all that's involved in production is labor. Nobody has to take out mortgages, make investments, pay taxes, manage an operation. It's just the worker shows up, as if all production is as simple as...
He doesn't even cut out when he... Okay, is that to him worth 90% of someone's labor value? The fact that some business guy invested in the company, you know, he still gets some of that profit. Like he's still working, but his labor is what he gets paid for also. Like he's literally hoping that we continue to pay child slaves to make shoes. And he expects people to be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess it's really hard to invest in stuff, but it's not hard to make shoes, which is why you should make 9 cents for every dollar you make from a freaking shoe.
And more importantly, they think that it's apparently theft to work for somebody voluntarily at a wage you guys agree to. Yet these same people talk about raising taxes and they don't see that as theft. How does that make any sense?
Because you get something back. That's literally also factors into what he believes in, is that you give money in taxes and you get back something that the government gives you. And also, work isn't voluntarily working for a wage. It's a forced thing that has to happen for a lot of people because they're not able to work whatever job they want for whatever price they want, because there's no businesses that are willing to pay people what a human deserves to make, because they are stealing the wages from workers. That's what wage theft is in the first place. Like, you have to work for a certain price under capitalism because that's what it's deemed acceptable.
Zeke, roll the next one.
Zeke? Who's Zeke? Who's Zeke? Yo, Ethan, hit play on the video. Ethan, hit play and make a fart sound right now. There's no Zeke. He has a keyboard right there in front of him. Like, look, he is literally melting. He's melting on the screen. He's chuckling himself to death. Why? Why am I watching this?
Look at him.
Genuinely, this is scary. Yeah, also all these TikToks are jokes. Like, this is obviously like from a socialist or communist perspective, but like saying capitalism is the root of every problem, you know, he's gonna be like, I need to take that extremely literally. Oh, so the fact that you like freaking honestly, a lot of the issues are from capitalism. I'm like trying to come up. I was gonna say like you stubbed your toe and now you have to go to the hospital. No, that definitely has an issue with capitalism. You can't pay your rent. No, yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's right. I guess he is. Okay, I'm gonna play this muted and see what happens. Watch his face.
I have so many questions there, I don't really know where to start. But one, why are you wearing a mask to a hookup, though? It's like, oh, I can't get COVID in my hookup. I think the mask isn't going to save you there.
Oh, this guy cannot deliver a joke. What was that? Yeah, also, he took off the mask when he walked inside. Like,
It literally happened right here.
also, like, in the context of the TikTok, this person is leaving the room. And so they're putting on the mask as they're leaving the room.
And I also think that if you're quizzing your Tinder hookups on their economic beliefs right before you hop into bed, you might be doing dating the wrong way.
Do you really think this guy's doing dating in the right way? His name is Brad Pulumbo or whatever.
But even more importantly, the idea that capitalism is the root of all problems It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
There was a
yeah. No, wait, he got me there. It doesn't make any sense. Dang. What am I supposed to say to that? I guess he proved us wrong.
time before capitalism existed. It was invented in the mid-17th century. Were there no problems before then? If anything, there were a lot more. And now the countries today that don't have capitalism, do they just have no problems? If that was really the root of all our problems, there would be a lot more going on than this TikTok manages to argue.
Wait, what? He's saying if capitalism was the root of all problems, we would have more problems? But he's just saying, but no, because the problems are just from capitalism. Huh? And also, a lot of those countries don't have as many problems. I don't know why he's saying, oh, so they have no problems. He's taking everything so literally that it doesn't make any sense.
Zeke, what do we got next?
Zeke? Look at his face. Why is he twitching like that?
Okay, nope. That's not gonna work for me, folks. Don't use cute dogs to push terrible ideas.
I didn't even read the TikTok because I was looking at his face.
What do we got next?
America does this because housing and feeding their citizens is not profitable. Okay, so what's his argument going to be? Why do we throw out so much food that's perfectly edible and healthy for people? And why are so many people homeless and starving on the streets?
Okay, nope. That's not gonna work for me, folks. Don't use cute dogs to push terrible ideas. Don't do it. I love dogs, and dogs do not belong in your socialist propaganda. I mean, you can't blame capitalism for the fact that homelessness exists and food is thrown away. I mean, how much of that comes back to actually government regulations that in many places make it illegal to hand out food or expose?
Yeah, government regulations that's from a capitalist government. He's explaining why it exists. He says how much of this boils down to the government. Yeah, dude, that's literally what he's saying. That's literally what the issue is that it's under capitalism and that's why it exists.
Due to legal liabilities if you give away leftovers. More importantly, I mean, when I think of the most socialist places in America, I think of California, I think of New York City. Those are also the places that seem to have a lot of homeless people. And
oh, those are also the places that literally have the most people in the country. And they're still under the US government. It doesn't change anything. You still have the same FDA regulations. And they're not socialist. They're literally run by liberals. Like New York is run by de Blasio, or was run by de Blasio. I don't know how soon they switch over, but huge liberal. Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. Huge liberal and not even close to being socialist. They're also the most popular places in the country. That's why they have more homeless people. You could say the same thing about Chicago. Ton of homeless people, a very blue area. Oh, I wonder why there's so many homeless people in an area that has a lot of people.
and a lot of hunger and problems. So, I mean, it's bad enough to be pushing terrible ideas, but do not use cute dogs to do it.
That's where I crossed the line. You're gonna call my beliefs the root of all evil, and that's funny. But the moment you bring a cute dog into this, I will have to draw the line and put my foot down. What's up,
Let's roll the
Michaela?
next one, Zeke.
So one of my favorite other critiques.
Why does it make that noise?
Dogs to do it. Let's roll the next one, Zeke.
So one of my favorite other critiques. It's commonly said that socialism and communism.
He's gonna say that communism and socialism fails whenever it's attempted because the US intervenes and stages military coups against countries that try to run socialism or communism. And the real reason why they fail is because of capitalism actually interfering and trying to make it, non-existent. Because when a successful country runs socialist ideas, it kicks back onto bigger countries like the US and raises more questions why we don't do the same thing.
Has failed every time it's been tried. To this you just say, by what metric? Because the concept of failure is subjective. Is it because it doesn't exist anymore? Then in that case, do you consider every single
audio's all
civilization up until the ones that currently exist to be failures? And do you consider every country that currently exists to be successful? Because that's dumb. I wouldn't consider giving everyone a house, education, free healthcare.
Maybe Brad should just show the TikTok and not do this weird thing where he looks off to the side because he looks like he's gonna explode.
And a job and food a failure. That's a lot better than we do here. I would consider someone dying once every 12 minutes because they don't have health insurance a failure. I'd consider the fact that people in Flint, Michigan still don't have drinkable water a failure. I consider a police force that arose to catch black people running
Brad,
slaves
do something
and
with your
continues
face. Why are
to
you doing
murder
this?
them a failure. 12+ hour voting lines a failure. The least educated voting against their class interest a failure.
Wow. So
Wow.
failure may be subjective, but guess what? Gulags, lines for food, mass starvation, and war crimes that we've seen in basically every communist country throughout history, I think that's about as objective a failure as you can get.
Yeah, but name the countries. Like, name your examples and talk about what leaders actually instituted that and why that happened. Because you can't just be like, hey, every country has that. And is that a failure? Yeah. This country tried to do communism and it didn't work. You can't just say that huge blanket statement and then pretend everyone's going to be like, no, that's a good point. They all did do that. There were gulags and food lines everywhere.
And it's just nuts to me because think of the world today and you think of what societies and what countries come closest to being socialist or communist. It's not a pretty list, guys. North Korea, we've got Cuba.
In what world would you consider North Korea to be doing communism or socialism? That's literally like an authoritarianship.
Venezuela. I mean, these are places that people are desperate to leave.
Venezuela had all of its issues because the US staged a coup there and literally intervened in their country to make that happen.
Whereas the places they want to come to are market-based societies like you have in most parts of Europe and in the US. At the end of the day, nobody ever fled capitalism in a raft. Zeke, let's roll the next one.
You really think no one's ever left the country because of capitalism screwing them over? And the big thing is a lot of people do want to do that. Like literally people try to bail constantly out of capitalism because they can't live here. But they can't because they get stuck here because there's no way to get out of the country without it costing literally everything you're worth. It's the same exact thing. But it's not free to fly on a plane and move all of your stuff out of your country.
Darling, I understand you want a cool communist boyfriend, okay? But chasing after me.
You know, I hate how he cuts out the audio too, so you can't hear his laugh, and he's just like kind of jumping up and down.
I understand.
Look at him.
You want a cool communist boyfriend, okay? But chasing after Mr. Mustache nicotine addiction is counter-revolutionary when you are young and beautiful and can rob a member of the bourgeoisie with your looks alone. Find a sugar daddy. Redistribute the wealth. That's praxis. That's harm reduction.
Okay, that one cracks me up. Like I said, all this
Okay, that one cracks me up. That one simply just cracks me up.
content, it's not all bad. Some of it is genuinely hilarious, even if the people pushing it are socialists. And in this case, I respect the hustle. You know, redistributing the wealth to a new extreme, I respect it. But I will say this, a sugar daddy relationship where you are exchanging goods and services for financial
Services? I know you guys hate when I do this, but I have to do it.
exchanging goods and services, goods and services, goods and services, goods and services for financial compensation, that's a voluntarily free market capitalist transaction. Well, guys, that's
But you're getting 100% of your labor, which he didn't even talk about. He's like, that's like saying that the person who hooks them up on the Sugar Daddy app is going to get 90% of the actual money that the sugar baby earned because they just own the app. You get full control of your own means of production. You're running your own business. You're literally doing the transaction on your own and you get all of the kickback from it.
That's about all the cringe communist content I can handle today. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button.
Damn, dude, he got freaking owned. Is this him? What happened to him? Did he get hit by a bus?
Because we live in a fallen world.
Yo, Brad
and
looked
because
weird.
the ring is not actually getting thrown into Mordor until the end of days.
Why are we talking about Lord of the Rings?
Good is being pursued, but at the localist level possible, right? Not one federal government that is massive and powerful and enforce.
Dude, don't suck the fun out of Lord of the Rings, man. Just why do you have to bring that in?
So this one cracks me up because This is straight up out of the Communist Manifesto, guys. This is straight up out of the Communist Manifesto, guys. This is straight up out of the Communist Manifesto, guys.
Manifesto. Well, I mean, that's that. I don't know if that makes for a good video, but if it does make for a good video, whack that subscribe button and ring that bell and like that like. And talk to you soon. Wow. Ethan, add in a gun effect for every single one of these fingers I shoot.